So today our challenge for today was posture. So I'm going to talk a little bit about posture. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. So hopefully you got an email this morning. If you didn't get an email, send me a message with your email address and I'll get you into the emails so that you get in those. There'll be one every morning this week. And we are going to look at a different element each day. So today's element was posture. So I do have my friend here. So I hope you can see that. Let me see. There we go. So this is kind of how I am sitting right now. So pelvis down at the bottom. This is a front on view as well. If you're like looking through here, front on view. Pelvis at the bottom and skull up at the top. Obviously you can see the bones stacked one on top of the other and the discs in between. Now if I turn this side on, so if we look at it from a side on view, I just have to re-articulate some of my vertebrae there. Okay, oh gosh, okay, we're kind of good. So your spine should kind of have this kind of S-shaped curve in it. So your low back, you should have this sort of round, sort of, it's called a lordosis. You should have this little curve in your low back. That's where it should be. That's how our spine is designed to be. That is how it is strongest, and it's where there's the least amount of stress and strain on the tissues. So that's where our spine likes to be. Now, most of us sit for 8 hours a day, and probably at the moment, I don't know about you, but I've sat all day today. Just like being on the computer and stuff. So I'm actually probably sitting way more now that we're in lockdown than I would have done previously. If I think about my normal Monday, I'd be like, get up, get the kids up, sit in the car to get them to school, you know, in and out the car, get to the clinic, up and down with patients, back to school. You know, I just wouldn't really have been sitting down. Whereas now, today, they got themselves up because I was already on a call when they got up, and I've just sat down pretty much all day. I think I've taken the dog for a walk twice. That's about it. So I'm doing way more sitting. Now, most of us don't sit with this lovely curve in our low back. Most of us tend to sit a bit more in that C-shaped curve. You kind of see that C-shaped curve. So if I do that, hang on one sec. If I show you side on, like that is that straight up and down position that we should be in with that little curve in our low back. That's where we should be. Most of us tend to sit like this. And when we sit like that, we kind of lift our head up so we can see what's going on as well. So not only is our low back kind of the wrong way around, our upper back and neck all out of whack too. Now, the consequence of that, what it does is it puts a lot of abnormal stress and strain, particularly on the low back. So if you kind of look through the front of the spine here, you can see the bones stacked one on top of the other with the discs in between. Now, if we sliced through a disc and looked down on it, it's a round ring, like a round ring of really tough cartilage with jelly stuff in the middle. That jelly stuff moves around as we move around. That's essentially what gives the spine its movement. So if we are in that poor sitting position, that C-shaped curve, can you see it puts so much strain on the front part of the disc? All that jelly stuff is going to move towards the back of the disc. Now, if you're sitting in that position for long enough and that jelly stuff is all moving towards the back for long enough, what will happen is that you will end up getting, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that red thing there? That is a bulge. That's a bulge in the disc. Because as the jelly stuff pushes to the back enough, it's going to start pushing on the back wall of the disc. The back wall of the disc is tough cartilage, but it's a soft tissue essentially. So if you push long enough and hard enough, it is going to push on there and it's going to start bulging that back wall back. Now if that back wall of the disc starts to bulge far enough, it starts pushing on these yellow things. You see those? Those yellow things are the nerves as they come out of the spine right there. Now they are not this short. They all join together and create the nerves, well, the ones in your low back join together, create the nerves that go all the way down to the tips of your toes. So these, I've taken the spine into school a couple of times to do like little presentations with the kids, and the one question, I think my favourite question ever, was from a little boy when I did this in, I think it was first grade. And he says to me, he says, is that mac and cheese? You know, because it looks a little bit, these yellow things, they look a bit like Kraft mac and cheese. It's not mac and cheese, it's the nerves. But they are not that short. They do all join together and go all the way down to the tips of the toes. So it's not very much distance between a bulge at the back of the disc and these yellow things which are the nerves. And that can be a big cause of sciatica, which is why posture is so important. You know, if you don't look at your posture and how your posture is affecting things like sciatica, you potentially could be just, you know, the nerve can settle itself down. If you've irritated your nerve for whatever reason, you settle it down and then you carry on sitting in that poor position, guess what? It's going to keep coming back because that disc is going to keep irritating that nerve. You put in abnormal stress and strain on all the tissues at the back of the spine, ligaments, tendons, muscles, they're all stretched out and lengthened, they're not happy either. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on when we do that. So posture, if you do nothing else this week but change your posture, you're going to feel better. So it's why we start with it. It's just so important and it's so simple to correct. So if we can get you into that good curve in your low back, that's where we want you to be. So when you're sitting, ideally having something behind your back, whether it's a cushion or a pillow, something like that can be helpful. Sitting on a shaped chair, there are some sort of seats you can get that have that little shape to them that you can then lean against, and it helps with that sort of lumbar lordosis, particularly in the car. You know, you've probably got like a little lumbar support in your car that you can tweak to fit you and to be comfortable. So if it's there, use it. Probably the same in your office chair. Now, if you've got a great office chair at home, brilliant. If you're like a lot of people, you're probably sitting on a dining room chair now or a kitchen chair, not ideal. I will admit, I sat on my couch all day today while I was on my video calls. Not the best, but I did have a cushion behind the back. So I did have some support in my lumbar spine, so it was better. So the challenge for today was to be sitting in a better posture. I challenged you this morning to set your timer on your phone. So set your timer on your phone for 20 minutes so that when the timer goes off, you stand up, just have a little move, sit back down in good posture, reset your timer. Because what will happen is when we are sitting and working on our laptops, watching TV, surfing the internet, whatever it is you're doing, you will get sucked into that activity. And before you know it, all your good intentions are going to be down here because it just sucks you in. So that's the reason for setting your timer for 20 minutes, because, you know, after 20 minutes, you're probably down in that C-shaped curve. You need that little reminder. If you don't have a little external reminder like your phone, you're going to end up getting an internal reminder, which will be pain, and we don't want to get to that point. So set your timer for 20 minutes, stand up, little move, sit back down, good posture, reset your timer, carry on doing whatever it was you're doing. So this does not take you away from your desk. You know, if you're working from home, it doesn't take you away from your desk, it doesn't take you away from your work, it just breaks up the day. This can be transformational. I have had a number of clients who have literally just done this one strategy, and it makes such a difference to how they're feeling. So please try it. I want you to try it, give it a go, see how it feels, see how easy it is. You know, it's not going to take any time out of your day. You literally stand up, sit down, it's like less than a second. But if you do that consistently through the day, for every 20 minutes while you're sitting, you will notice a difference. If you have any questions about posture, please let me know. Actually, I am going to address one question that I get asked all the time. And it's like, well, can I not just wear one of those devices that holds me in a good posture? That's a really good question. And so the answer is, yes, you could, but there's always a but, right? When you put something external like that on, it may pull you and force you into a good position, and so the tissues underneath, aka the muscles, will realize that something else is doing its job, and those muscles will go, oh, don't need to work anymore, and they will switch off. So if you wear, whether it's a back support or whether it's one of these sort of like posture devices that go around your shoulders and pull your shoulders back to try and keep you upright, anything external like that will cause a weakening of the muscles, and we don't want that, because then you become completely reliant on that device, whatever it is, whether it's the belt or whether it's the posture device, and then you'd have to wear it the whole time. That's not our goal at all. Our goal is that your muscles are strong enough to support you in that good position, in that good posture, takes all the abnormal stress and strain away from the spine, so that you can be comfortable doing everything you want to be able to do. So if anybody has any other questions, please feel free to either leave a message in the chat, or send me a message, or just post in the group. I love answering questions. So please let me know. Like I say, if you didn't get the email this morning and you want to do the 5-day challenge that we're doing all of this week, send me a message. Let me know that you want to be added to the challenge, and I will make sure you're added to the challenge, and you will get the second secret tomorrow morning. So I hope everybody is well and has had a lovely Monday, and I will see you all tomorrow for Tuesday's live at 5. I will see you then. Take care. Bye.